Good afternoon, Alabama HOSA. I'm Becky Cornelius, and I serve as your Alabama HOSA State Advisor. I just wanted to share a couple of updates with you. We have some deadlines pressing and thought it would be a good time just to share some information quickly by video. So I'm going to share a screen here about a few updates. We want to look over our important dates document, discuss affiliation, talk about the upcoming bylaw vote, HOSA week, November 1st through the 7th, SQE procedures, JLDC, and also a SLC update of what we can tell you at this point as we are planning accordingly. So we're going to look at our important dates right quick to guide us. JLDC registration, the early registration is actually due tomorrow, and this allows the chapters that are registered to get their swag boxes in time for the conference. There is an October 30th and a November 6th registration deadline, but you'll receive your conference materials after the November 5th and 6th release of the conference. But keep in mind with JLDC, you can actually see that content on demand the whole month of November. So you can incorporate it into your classroom easier that way. And we just want you to be aware of those registration deadlines. The state officers are working hard to get some CTSO Connect specific sessions for HOSA for your members. And remember, this year there is a flat fee for chapter registration. You can find all JLDC information at alabamajldc.org, and we do hope that your members can participate with us in that. For HOSA week, I want to share our dress up days. We push these out in our October timeline, and we'll put them on social media as well, but since we're kind of doing a fall type update, we want to make sure you're aware of our HOSA week dress up days. We'll also have some deadlines of SQE registration this week. We want to see your pictures of your members supporting the dress up week, so do share those on social media so we can share them out with other members. It's a fun time to incorporate HOSA even more at the local level. Related to SQE in general, we'll look at the packet in a moment to discuss things that are different this year than last year especially, but by November 6th, we need everybody who's going to participate in our qualifying events registered in the HOSA Conference Management System. So this means your members would need to be affiliated before that. Now, we've had lots of advisors ask about when is the affiliation deadline. It's kind of a goal to have your members affiliated around October 15th, which is today, but the conference management system, affiliation system, will allow advisors to add members throughout the year. You just generate an invoice each time you add members in there. So to stay organized, we try to, it's kind of easier to do like a fall group of affiliation and a new group maybe in January if you have new members come in, but ideally you would try to include all your members in that first registration so your members get the most benefits from their membership. And of course we want them to be able to participate in SQE, so we know they'd have to be registered through the affiliation system before you could register them for actual qualifying events. Also related to October 15th, we talked about upcoming bylaw vote, and within our affiliation system, if you have yourself as an advisor and at least one other member entered into the system, we're going to send you out some information in the next couple of days to vote on a possible bylaw change, and we do want your opinion on that. So again, that was something we sent out last week, and are asking you to get those people in the affiliation system too, so we can send you the info. This November 16th timing is very important, and there's been some questions on this because this is different than last year. If your students are participating in the digital submissions that are non-testing, those are due November 16th to Tallow if you're at the high school level, or a WUFU link if you're at the middle school level. Post-secondary would do Tallow as well. So it's pretty important that you realize that, you know, that's a month from now. So those events like prepared speaking and career health display, those things kind of have to be in the process of being done and submitted. Now, if your students are taking a test, they will still test during the December the 1st through 7th window, but just want to make sure everybody's clear on that online submission window. State officer applications are also due on that November 6th deadline, so they can test on the December 1st through the 7th time frame. Remember to be looking out on who will be your proctor and getting those identified online, and the proctor and advisor agreements. We have a time frame for you to have that done in. Our goal is to release those SQE results by December 15th. So that way we can plan accordingly for SLC. And then once January hits, we have our SLC registration deadline, scholarship, recognition event deadlines for there. A TALO submission date in February. We have lots of questions about when do I resubmit to TALO between SQE and SLC especially. And then National HOSA this year is creating their own TALO opportunities for ILC. So even if you submitted to Alabama's, you would have to resubmit if you were a finalist going to ILC. So I'm going to push this video out to social media too, to try to especially reach out to the students and let them have all the same information, especially since some of them are in a virtual world right now and maybe harder to keep everyone updated. So back to our what all we're covering. We want to look at an SLC update especially, and where we are in the planning process for that. In the SQE packet, we have information on different types of conferences, and if we had a normal conference, it would be this number qualify for this event. If we had a 1/3 socially distanced conference, it would be this number per event. So I want to just take a moment to explain that a little more. We've had some questions on that topic. Students, you can see this SQE registration packet on our alabamahosa.org website too, under students and resources, SQE. So we have time frames here, really important information to guide you through the registration process. But let's scroll on down to the qualifying numbers. This has what is due per digital submission for each event, so it's well written out, and you would find all of that on TALO also. But basically your first column is what our normal SLCs usually look like, with our 1,800 attendees that the impact will hold. By December 15th, we plan on making the decision on what type state leadership conference we can hold based on what restrictions are in place at that time. We've had meetings with the Renaissance, we've had meetings with Tri-Leadership that help us run our SLC program on what we think will work best for our members and keep everyone healthy. So we have a column here for a 1/3 socially distanced event, and we have a column for a virtual event. So what you need to know is how we came up with this is, if the impact only allows 600 people into the facility, we wanted to make sure we got at least the top 6 individuals or top 6 teams. So we had to do the math to come up with, does this top 6 per event equal more like 600? And it does. So that's why we have that number. It's not 1/3 of the number that we used to let qualify in like nursing assisting, okay? So again, by December 15th, we will have that information as to what that conference will look like. And please know that we are in negotiations on working on our agenda, making the conference more user-friendly and more attainable for attendance, even for those schools who may be on more of a travel ban right now at this time. So we do look forward to your members being able to participate and learn the valuable things that come out of HOSA's competitive events. A reminder about our state officer application deadline and that testing window. So related to recognition events, especially if we have to go to a 1/3 socially distanced event, then the recognition winners would not be able to fit into that number of 600, but we do still, of course, want to recognize them for all their hard work. So we're looking at live streaming some of the sessions to still let those students be able to watch and receive that recognition, and we would mail out plaques or certificates and pins, things like that, that would normally be awarded on stage. So please be on the lookout for more updates related to our SLC planning process, and our executive committee will be working hard on making those decisions with us. We have all middle schools guidelines also within this packet, and middle schools WUFU links to submit to. So I'm trying to keep this as short and sweet as possible. So we have kind of covered everything that was our goal to cover in this video update. Please reach out to us at alabamahosa@alsde.edu with any questions you may have, or you can email me directly at rcornelius@alsde.edu. And we look forward to working with you and having a successful year for Alabama HOSA. Thank you for all you do.